Okay, we're back, we're live, we're here. ThinkTech enjoys shows like this so much, I can't even describe it to you. You know, we just did Gauri Kandakar, who is our think tank person in Brussels, and she stayed up late for us at midnight in Brussels. That's why we call the show Midnight in Brussels. And she spoke to us about the Greek bailout and also about the Iran nuclear deal. That was really something. And now we're going to talk to 4 more Indians, Indian students, as it were, Indian law students from JIndal Law School. JIndal Global Law School, yes. Which is in
New Delhi, Haryana. It's actually located in Haryana. It's northern state of India.
Okay, in the modern state of India. And our 2 guests, we're going to have 4 guests altogether. So we thought and we divided that into 2, and we got a result of 2 at a time. Okay, so these are the first 2. Okay, so the first at my left is Avni Choudhary with JIndal Global Law School, and the second to her left is Ishnoor Saini, also with JIndal Law School. That doesn't mean you knew each other before law school either. You came from different places in India.
Yeah.
So why don't you give me a little bio about how you wound up at JIndal Law School?
Okay, so I am from Rajasthan. There's a place called Jodhpur in Rajasthan. I belong from that place. So right from 11th, 12th, I wanted to pursue legal education. I wanted to become a lawyer.
Why?
Just seeing my cousin's a lawyer. So just seeing that, and it's a good field. I kind of like what lawyers do and the demeanor that they have.
How do you see yourself practicing? I mean, you're going to be a litigator, you're going to write papers?
Yeah, eventually a litigator.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so then I joined a coaching institution. So through that, I got to know about JIndal Global Law School, and I knew that I would want to go to such an institute. And then started studying for it, gave its examination, went pretty well, and that's how I landed up with JIndal Global Law School.
It's all about examinations, isn't it?
Yeah, all the time.
Really, yeah, all the time. Ooh, ooh, that's tough, that's hard. So
yeah.
You did really well.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
pretty
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Ishnoor.
yes. Wait, I lost my notes here. Oh, Ishnoor. Tell us about your biography. How did you wind up in JIndal Global Law School?
Yeah, so I'm originally from, I'm actually living in Madhya Pradesh. It's the central state in India. Mm-hmm. And so Dean Kumar of our law school had visited my city. And my father had a chance to speak to him. And the kind of visionary that Dean Kumar is, my father was very convinced, and so was I after having a conversation with Dean Kumar. And I was very sure that I wanted to go to JIndal Global Law School because in terms of the opportunities they provide, in terms of the faculty, the infrastructure, it's definitely class apart. It's actually world-class education which you're getting in India.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Exactly,
yeah.
Because our faculty, they've all studied abroad and they have a completely different perspective about legal education. So I was very sure that I wanted to go to JIndal Global Law School.
Okay. Do you want to be a litigator or you want to be a transactional lawyer or both or what?
So eventually I'm going to get into the law firms. But straight after my graduation, which is next year, I plan to pursue an LLM degree in the United States of America itself.
In what subject? Any subject?
No, I plan to study a general LLM degree and then eventually work at a law firm.
So, you know, we interview a lot of people from China because there's a program between the Shanghai Bar Association actually, and you know about this already. The law school's involved in it.
Yeah.
And Hawaii. And one of the things, you know, is that in the modern day Chinese legal training community, they get to go everywhere. They take LLMs everywhere. Europe, I mean, all over the US and so forth. Is that what's happening in India also?
Yes, to a great extent, because so your learning experience is rounded only when you have a perspective, like a wide perspective, when you have an understanding, an overall understanding. So this is why you need exposure which is why studying abroad always gives you an edge over the other candidates.
Sure.
So this is definitely a raging trend even in India. You will find, in fact, like even our faculty, most of them have got their degrees from Harvard, Yale, Oxford, Cambridge. All these universities, because of they are already such learned people, they get to learn from them. So this gives you an edge over other candidates. So in India as well, this is a trend.
You also did very well on the exams, huh?
Yeah,
okay, has to be.
I mean, because the process to get here was a little difficult because you had lots of applications and it was like a 4-step scrutinized procedure where you would have to submit your statement of SOP, then you had to submit your CV and everything.
Yeah. Another question is you mentioned that you had an international faculty,
Right.
and a lot of them were trained outside of India.
Right.
Where? In the U.S.? Is it mostly
In
the
the
U.S.?
US.
European?
Like
Yes.
all of them did their most of them did their bachelors in India, but all of them got their masters done in the Ivy League universities, the
Okay.
USA, Australia,
Interesting, okay.
England.
So it's not only restricted to United States of America, but also you will find them their degrees from Europe, from UK, like Cambridge,
Well, that's
Oxford.
great. It's like going on a world tour all the time, you know?
And also that these guys, all our professors are comparatively young. They're like 25, 26, 27-year-olds. So you know, there's
There's
this.
nothing wrong with that.
No, it's good in a way because there's this bond. It's like just so friendly. The lectures and the seminars that are conducted
very
in a college, they're very informal, sort of that you can approach them easily and ask questions.
Yeah.
So we don't have a huge age gap. So that
Definitely adds to the learning process.
Yeah.
So you learn about it. I mean, it's like comparative law. You're learning how the system works, that system. But at the end of the day, India is a UK derivative, and you believe in stare decisis, the rule of law.
Right.
You have case law, but you also have statutes, just the way we do. You must be very similar.
Yeah.
Yes, it is because we're also following the common law system.
Yeah.
So that again is
So you
very
must be very
similar
comfortable
to,
here.
We are very comfortable, and especially because on the first day itself, the day we reached here, Justice McKenna, she actually briefed us about the American legal system. So we were able to again draw distinctions, similarities between both the systems. So that again adds to your perspective.
Maybe you can teach them a few things or two.
Yeah, we keep discussing, we keep comparing how it is different, how differently it works in India. It mostly is the same, like we're dealing with cases and everything. We do the same when we intern back in India. The only difference is in the hierarchy of the courts. It's just, that's the difference. Otherwise, the way we approach the cases back in India, it's exactly the same.
Let me add for the people who don't realize, we haven't mentioned that these students from JIndal Global Law School are here for a reason. They're here to be with the Supreme Court. They are embedded in the Hawaii State Supreme Court. They're working there as what? Clerks. Law clerks, which is something, for the individual justices. And it is very interesting for you to do that, but it is also very interesting for us to find out what you're doing.
Right.
So what are you doing?
So I'm working for Chief Justice Rectenwald, and our work mainly depends from, it ranges from, compiling binders, from research. So then we get these applications from whether to accept a case or not, like certiorari applications. So if you want to accept it, then you have to provide reasons. So again, you research whether to take it or not. So in case there are other justices who may oppose your opinion, then your justice will forward your memo, that application that you have presented, why it should be or should not be accepted.
That sounds like what a regular law clerk for Justice Rectenwald would do. There's no distinction. You're fitting right into his process, eh?
But that's also because, so if not entirely an application, there's a particular segment that you're supposed to look at and research on that. And we have definitely gained a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, and you've been here 2 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, okay, well. When time is flying, it seems
It's
like.
literally flown.
What about you, Avni?
Yeah, so I'm working under Justice Michael Wilson. And there are a variety of cases that we're dealing with. We're dealing with certs, we're dealing with how to draft a memo, and we hone our research skills. And then we get to witness oral hearings, which is like a truly different experience, and it's really good. We get to see so many things, how the attorneys are arguing, what's their demeanor in the court, and how do the judges decide. So, like all these things, we at such a close level, we're able to see justices in action. That's a truly wonderful experience for all the four of us.
Gee, really,
Yeah.
a lot of people would like to be, a lot of local lawyers would like to be where you are, so you can see both sides of the equation.
Yeah, and you actually can like walk in and watch the oral hearings happening in the court. So that's really good. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Also, because if you're becoming a lawyer, to learn how to argue before the court and how justices respond to that, that sort of teaches you a lot.
Have you seen argument in India?
Yeah.
Yes.
How does it differ here?
Judges are really patient, like very patient.
Here.
Back in India, yeah. Here in America,
Yeah.
like Indian courts are amazing. The way they do it. Like there's so many cases. Like here, the maximum limit is around 3. Back in India, the Supreme Court of India like handles around 30-35 cases per day. So the thing is that
This is at the appellate level?
No, this is
This
the
is
the
apex.
general jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the highest court of the land. It's the apex court. So then, like both of them are absolutely similar. The only thing is that the weightage and the amount of cases that we've been hearing in America and back in India, there's a huge difference in that.
Well, they call it hot court. I mean, when the justices are very animated and they interrupt the lawyers and they ask them hot questions and all that.
Yeah.
Do they have that in India?
Yeah, that's
hot
more
court?
like
Absolutely.
an India scene.
Yeah, all the time.
That happens all the time.
So you make a mistake and whoop.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens all the time back in India. And so does it happens here as well,
Yeah.
They snub the attorney if they go anywhere wrong.
Yeah.
And that's where they slip.
Well, is that good? It's a good thing to do.
It's
That's
good,
definitely
absolutely.
You don't want anybody to have a soft touch on things.
Yeah.
If he's wrong, tell him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so what about the quality of the argument that you have seen here? You've seen, I'm sure, in a month, you've seen a few cases.
Right.
What has it been like? Do you find the lawyers who appear in front of the Supreme Court competent and articulate and understandable and persuasive?
In my opinion, it has, since I've seen like around 3 to 4 oral hearings, so it has depended from case to case. So it hasn't been very constant that the attorneys have been very persuasive and very fluent and competent. But there have been cases where I have really been moved by what they've, like I have been inspired by the way they have argued their case.
Can you tell me about that case and that lawyer?
So I'm not very sure of the name of the lawyer, but
I'll tell you about the case.
Because so it was I think he had argued before Justice McKenna, and Justice McKenna sort of opposed him by saying that what you're saying is not very articulate. And what that attorney did was he sort of moved his, he actually very subtly changed the row of the movement of the argument. And
Yeah, they they compare analogies to animations. So that is that different, and there's stark contrast between what you're dealing with and what you're talking about. So like after each oral hearing in the beginning, when we just joined the court, the justices used to sit with us and used to ask us that how did we learn, what did we see. So they said that like each attorney has a different way of dealing and tackling with the case. So we could notice that experience really matters. Like each attorney, the time that they've been dealing with the cases and the time they've been arguing, there's a difference. And if you're old, you much more experienced and you know how to get the attention of the judge. But if you're fairly new to the field, you waver a bit, your voice shivers and something like that. So we've been able to notice all of that.
So they told you what they look for, And then you could look too.
Yeah, they absolutely say
Yes.
that you just have to serve your client. You have to do whatever you can. You have to serve your client. That is what you an attorney for.
Right, but the judge has to be able to discern
Yeah.
whether it's right or not.
Yeah. And they do it in a second.
Yeah.
They just like know it all.
Yeah.
And in fact, after the proceedings, the first oral argument that we witnessed, Justice Wilson actually called us to his office and he told us that, you know, this is where he went wrong and this is how you should have, if you were in his shoes, how you should have gone about it.
Yeah.
So that gives you a whole new
Well,
insight
that's
to
great.
it.
So he
Yeah.
told you what he would have done.
Exactly. So
Well, he's a litigator,
What-
so he comes with long experience about
Yeah.
this.
Exactly. So he tells us that if you get stuck at this point, how you should have done and what was actually done. So all these things give you
Yeah.
a great insight.
Yeah, now, did you actually give feedback to them about what you thought, how it went?
Like, we were awed. Like in the first oral hearing, after that, all of us were like, "Oh my God, wow! This was world class. This was next level." And we never imagined that we'd be able to learn so much out of it. And after the session with Justice Wilson regarding this, you know, all of us got a new perspective to see oral hearings in a totally different way. So that was a great learning experience for all four of us.
Oh, yeah, wow. Have you seen trials?
Yeah.
Yes. So we visited the district court and
Jury trials?
right.
We haven't been able
visited-
to like view the jury trial as of now. Both of us hope that we'd be able to get an opportunity to do that. But
Do you go together or separately when you go visit like that?
No, we
We'd
go
go
together.
Go together, all four of you?
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
do.
Gee, what an interesting time. And you get to meet the judges all
Yes,
the
Yeah.
time.
we get to meet the judges. We met Justice Castanetti. We met a couple of other judges as well, and they had actually prepared like an entire itinerary for us. So
Yeah.
we had about 20-25 minutes in each court. So we began our day like last Monday. So we began our day around 8:30 a.m. and we from civil cases, we went to criminal ones, traffic. So we got to see the whole working.
enchilada, everything.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and also because in India we don't have traffic cases like that.
Yeah.
So that was very different, and it was a
Yeah.
new experience.
Okay, so have you been around downtown? I mean, these buildings downtown where the lawyers live? Have you seen law firms?
No, not
No.
yet.
I bet
But-
you will. You have
I'm
6
sure.
months, right?
No, we're
No,
here
we
for another
wish.
2 weeks. It was a 6 weeks of clerkship,
Clerkship.
so
Maybe
we've
this
already
time we
finished
can
4.
take a look
But
at some of the
definitely,
big
yes.
law firms,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
see how they live, see how it looks inside, you know,
Yeah.
in the sanctum sanctimonious, see how it looks. That'll be interesting. How about Neighbor Islands? Have you gotten there at all?
No, not yet.
You know, this court under your friend Mark Rechtenwald has actually gone on tour, this
Yes.
Supreme Court,
Yes.
to small towns
Right.
on the Big Island. And
Sure.
they have done cases, in oral arguments, in high school gymnasiums. Isn't that fabulous?
Right.
So the kids would come, and the kids get all dressed up, and the kids would watch this, what you see, they would watch this in the high school.
Yeah.
That's Mark Rechtenwald, he's really
Right.
interesting, yeah. What about the law school? Have you had contact with the law school?
Yes.
Yeah.
We visited that place like a couple of times, and it was once for the access to justice conference. The second time we went there for a symposium on the environmental
International.
code. So that was again a wonderful experience
Yeah, this
because
is great.
we got to be a
Yeah.
part of the symposium.
This is so great that you're here. I mean, it's great for you, I think, and it's certainly great for the court,
Yeah.
great for us. It's great for being in the 21st century to talk to you.
We
And,
honored, and it's like a wonderful opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity that all
Yeah.
of us have gotten.
yeah, don't say once in a lifetime, though.
It's like
Because
a
you might be
beautiful thing
back.
that you, yeah, we wish, like, yeah, really
Definitely.
fortunate.
So when are you graduating, Jindal?
So I'm graduating next year in 2016
Yeah.
because I'm entering my final year in
Yeah.
August.
Yeah.
And
I have 2
About
more
you,
years
Avni?
to go.
2 years?
Yeah, I'm the junior.
Okay, so they picked applicants from all over the school then?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
great.
So they'd invited applications, and on the basis of the interested ones, they shortlisted.
I am so sorry that we have to go to your 2 compadres now, and we have to stop our conversation and take a break. But I want to say, Avni and Ishnoor, it's been great to talk to you.
Definitely.
Wish you well. I hope we have further contact while you're here.
Definitely.
And I hope your trip is just as good as it seems to be. And
Thank
better.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's an honor to
Thank
be
you so
here.
much.
Thank you.
Ishnoor.
So nice to meet you.
Okay, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. We'll have 2 more Indian students, and you'll see it's not necessarily the same.
Hi, I'm your host on ThinkTech Asia, Bill Sharp. I look forward to you joining us each Monday between 4 and 5 o'clock when we film right here in our studio in downtown Honolulu. The show, ThinkTech Asia, focuses on contemporary events in Asia. And by Asia, we mean anything from Hawaii, south to Australia and New Zealand, west to Pakistan, and as far north as the Russian Far East. Clearly, this is one of the most economically dynamic centers of the world, and we bring you up to date on what's going on in a whole host of countries in this very vital region. We look forward to seeing you. Aloha.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on ThinkTech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you Center Stage.
Aloha, my name is Jim Sean, and I'm host of a show called Education Movers, Shakers, and Reformers. Each week, live streaming at noon on ThinkTech Hawaii, we interview people who have special insights into education from early education through K-12, all the way through higher education and beyond. Both public and private are areas we're interested in. We dig deeper. We try to find out what it's really like to be involved in making change, advocating for it, how you reform, what people's philosophies are in reforming it. As I said, we're live streaming every Wednesday at noon on ThinkTech Hawaii. And later on, you can find these interviews on YouTube and on the Hawaii Educational Policy Center website. We hope you join us as many times as possible. Aloha.
Okay, we're back, we're live. We told you we'd be back, and we are back. We have 2 more Indian students. One is Aprajita Sheel. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. And Swarnim Swasti.
Hi.
Hi. And what parts of India are you from, and how did you get into my now favorite Indian law school, JIndal?
Okay, so I'm from the northern part, the place near Delhi called Gurgaon. So my father is in the government services, so I've always been changing my places because he used to get transferred. So now, when you ask why I'm in law school, my father has been my biggest inspiration, and seeing him serve the society every day since the time I took birth instilled the feeling of me doing something for the society and making sure, because there are a lot of social problems in India, and they cannot be put under the carpet like how a lot of problems are usually done. So I wanted to make sure that I gain that legal education, and in furtherance of that, then serve the society ultimately. So I gave a couple of examinations, and JIndal, so being very true, the last decade has been like a mini revolution for legal education. So legal education was not very appreciated. So JIndal, I saw that vision, I saw that zeal to change this perspective in people, to go to, there are a lot of clinical programs in JIndal, so you can actually interact with the society and you can try to bring about a change. So that really moved me, and Professor Rajkumar is just I mean, you need to meet him to understand why I'm so fond of him, or why all of us are so fond of him. So yeah.
He's the
Dean of the law school.
And the founder?
No, founder is Mr. Naveen Jindal.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. Well, wow. I got a couple of questions come out of that. Exactly what you want to do, the common good.
Yes.
What is the common good? I mean, how do you want to see the world evolve? And we only have, just 20 minutes or so.
Yes, so I believe a lot in I feel that human rights and how human rights is the broadest thing. So there comes the rights of women, rights of children. So
women.
Yes.
who have been attacked in India, big issue.
Yes,
you must follow that very closely.
Yes, that is definitely one of the biggest things that's following up right now.
Yeah.
So, and that's why there are a lot of changes in the Indian legal system when it comes to statutes, or when it comes to setting up a fast-track courts to make sure that there's justice served to them quickly. And because there are a lot of pending cases in India, so the courts are overburdened. So when it comes to such issues wherein women protection and child abuse or something related to these things.
Got to be right away.
Yes, it got to be right away.
Yeah.
So
when I went to law school, it was a joke, but I believe it to be true. They said there was a case pending in India. I went to law school in the 60s. There was a case pending in India since the year 1215. Had not yet been disposed of.
That's
1215.
That doesn't, I think, shock us. Because, there's often been this is a legal joke there, wherein there's dates on dates on dates.
Right. Lots of continuances.
Yes. But now the position is way better. Like I told you, it has been a mini revolution when it comes to the legal field in India.
But if you're going to change the world, if you're going to dedicate yourself to the common good, making a better India, you may not make a lot of money.
Yes, that's
why.
You're
willing to take that risk.
That's so. I have been involved in a lot of NGOs, and so that feeling, how if you interact with doctors, you'll understand that that feeling of just doing some good and seeing that development happen in front of you.
That's what we do here in ThinkTech.
That's amazing.
Okay, so let's turn to
Swarnim.
And so tell me your background before you got, or how you got to JIndal.
My father and my mother, both of them are professors. So I come from a background where education is very important, and where education is very, very important, and the first and the most priority is given to education. So when I was in high school, I wanted to be a cardiologist. That was my first serious choice, apart from being a tennis referee.
There's a similarity there.
Yeah, there's a similarity. Observation, I would say. So I wanted to be a cardiologist, but then I met one of these very young lawyer. She's a woman lawyer. She is working in Pune at present. It's a city in the state of Maharashtra in India. It's a western state. And she works with a law firm. She told me I wasn't aware about the 5-year integrated course. And as Aprajita said, the structure, the legal structure, and the way legal education is perceived in India is not really good. Why? Because people think, oh, if one is not doing anything, he or she is going to be a lawyer. Because it's easy, it's cheap, they do not understand the quality, they do not understand the value of a legal background. The case was same with me, until I met her and I understood that there is a new course. It's a 5 years law. So instead of 6 years law degree, that means first you go through
It used to be 6 years?
Yeah, 3 years undergrad program and 3 years law school.
Got it. Okay.
Now we have, right after high school, after your 11th and 12th grade, you could go for an integrated course. It's for 5 years and you'll be straight out as a lawyer. So
have to take a bar exam though.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, if you want, you could take a bar exam.
Yeah.
So when I was in my 12th grade, I completed my 12th grade, I sat for LSAT, and I got a call from JIndal Global Law School.
LSAT, I've heard of LSAT. That's an American thing.
Yeah.
We have
take the LSAT in India?
JIndal Global Law School brought it to India.
Yes, it's Professor Rajkumar that got
It's the vision.
You heard it here on ThinkTech.
Well, he's a visionary. Well, he's a visionary, and so his vision gave us LSAT in India. So yes, I sat through LSAT, and I got a call from JIndal Global Law School. I did good, and they offered me with a scholarship, and I accepted it.
They called you?
Yes, they
That
did.
did not happen with me when I went to law school, or anybody I know.
No, we have applications that we send, and so based on our LSAT results, they
call us
shortlist us.
Okay,
and
I
they-
see,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So they
okay.
call us back based on our LSAT results. So when I got a call and I was assured that based on your LSAT score, you will be provided a scholarship, and I went through the brochure and I went through the course structure. Two things that impressed me. Number one, this is going to change how legal education is perceived. Second,
This meaning JIndal.
JIndal, the course structure, the faculty, the courses, everything.
All that visionary stuff.
Yes. And secondly, this private university will be a world-class private university which is going to beat, or if not beat, it's going to be at par with the national law schools in India, which are considered to be the best law schools. And to an extent, in a short span of 5 years, I think we have moved really forward, and we stand at top 5 private universities in India. We are one of them.
How old is JIndal?
It was established in 2009.
5 years.
5 years.
That's extraordinary.
That is
And
extraordinary.
the founder's name again?
So we have, okay, this was again a vision of Professor and our Dean, Rajkumar, and in collaboration with our Chancellor, Naveen Jindal, both of them established and founded JIndal Global Law School.
Rajkumar has been on this.
Since Professor Rajkumar has been on this since he was in Hong Kong. He was working,
Oh, he's been at ThinkTech.
yes,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just saw the interview of Dean Avi.
Dean Avi is a
Yes.
good
Yes.
friend of ThinkTech.
Yes, I did not see. I will go back and have a look at Professor Rajkumar's interview. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fabulous. So, this is not just any law school.
This is not just any law school.
Now there are 4 of you,
Yes.
and unless I miss my guess, all 4 of you are women.
Yes.
Okay. Does that tell us something about the student makeup in JIndal?
No.
No. You
So
just happened to be
It just
women.
happened. It was just the applications and the selection procedure. We have equal ratio with men and women in our batches. And though Haryana is considered a place where, so this is a big change in Haryana too, because some statistics show that Haryana has a feeling of not promoting probably education in women or something like that.
It is one of the most conservative states in India. Haryana is one of the most conservative states in India. And establishment of a university like JIndal Global Law School and JIndal Global University, as she is saying, has changed the perception of the people when it comes to Haryana. It has also helped. I do not know. I think so that it's going to take a lot of time, but then the thinking and the idea of people is changing. It is changing. They are promoting women. We have a good, all 4 of us are women. I mean, an international internship at the Supreme Court of Hawaii, completely and totally based on your performance, on your CGPA, on your application, on your SOP, and your interview process, does say something that women can do really good, and JIndal Global Law School is giving it 100% to promote them.
I'm not arguing. I wouldn't even start to argue that. But
I think that's the
does
thing with
Mr.
lawyers.
Modi know about JIndal?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Our president.
Has he been around?
No, so,
No, our president has been around.
Yes. So
Yes, Dr.
it was
Pranav
just-
Mukherjee.
Yeah.
He used to, the previous government, the UPA government, he used to be one of the cabinet ministers. And then he is now currently serving as the president of India. He has been to our campus. And I'm not wrong, 2 days back,
Yes.
Dean Rajkumar met president. He met president and he talked about a lot of things, about the conferences and about the educational structure of India. And
How
it has
legal
come to our,
education-
yes, and it has come to our notice that now Indian law schools are considered as one, especially the IITs, which is Indian Institute of Technology, as one of the world-class universities, as compared to previous year when not even a single college or university of India was within 200 best schools.
So are you graduating this year?
Next year.
Next year?
Both of us.
Same thing?
Yeah,
Yes.
same thing.
And what are you guys going to do?
So, yeah, I am an international law person. I am a person who wants to do something in international, specifically international humanitarian law. I am war, the rules of war, Geneva Convention, Rome statutes attracts me a lot. It's just.
Does that mean a graduate degree?
No, yeah, after my graduation, which I graduate next year, after my graduation, I would like to pursue an LLM degree.
Where?
I have 3 colleges in my mind right now. Oxford University, NYU, and Leiden.
That's my school.
Oh.
I urge you to go to NYU.
Please help me. Oh, I'm going to stay in touch with you. I'm going to bug you. Oh, yeah, I'm going to bug you until I get into NYU. So NYU, and the third one is Leiden University. Leiden University has one of the very good program structures when it comes to international law.
Okay. What about you, Aprajita?
For me, I'm really interested in the field of law of the sea. So, yes, so I'm trying to get an internship in the tribunal for law of the sea in the UN. So
it's right after graduation.
Yeah, no, like we have a winter internship also pending, one of the internships this year. So I'm trying to gain experience in that and see how it works out.
You guys don't sleep at night.
We do.
Well, let's talk about your life here in the state Supreme Court. How did you guys get, how did you guys get interested in this? I mean, this extraordinary trip. And in a funny way that, it's great education, but you're not back home doing the books right now.
Yeah.
You're here having sushi.
Of course, yes. Sushi is delicious.
Okay.
It's delicious.
There are priorities.
I was a vegetarian until I landed in Hawaii.
Is that right? Wow. That says something, doesn't it?
And she loves non-veg.
And I love non-veg now. Oh my God. It's just.
So why did you want to come here?
Yes, so we had a conference, 9th March 2015, and Dean Antolini, along with Justice Wilson, visited India. And they gave a presentation on access to justice and sustainable development in India and in Hawaii. And that conference, it was a 2-day-long conference. I attended the conference, and I met Dean Antolini, and I met Justice Wilson. It inspired me. Why? 2 grounds. Number 1, the way they represented and the way they talked in conference gives us a spectacular view of how different and how the system, how different the system is, how do we perceive environmental law, and what is the significance of environmental law. Being my 4th year, we had just studied environmental law, so I was interested in that. It was like, I want to go and sit in that conference and learn about environmental law. I did that. Environmental law, how will it apply in Hawaii? And also the relationship of environmental law with international law. You do not have to explain that.
No.
It was one of the very driving factors which led me to this internship.
And when you combine it with climate change, it's the most important.
Climate change and energy law.
Oh, wow.
Both of them.
Yeah.
And second factor was just the demeanor of both Dean Antolini and Justice Wilson. I mean, wow.
Mellow.
Wow. The word is wow. That's it. Wow with an exclamation mark. Two maybe.
I expect one of these days soon, these gentlemen will be watching this tape.
We will be sure to send them the link so that they watch this tape. All 3 of them.
What is your experience on this?
So, along with the conference that we attended back in JIndal, so I feel that, so in JIndal we have a lot of electives that are offered to us. So there are many electives based on American law's legal system. So I have always believed that law, the best idea of law is when you practice it, when you have the practical aspect of it. So reading after going through the American Constitution and everything, I thought coming here, interning under these amazing justices can give me a hand to the perfect practical experience of how law works in America.
So has it been realized?
Yes.
Who are you working for? What's it been like when you go to court, write papers, whatever?
So I am working under Justice McKenna, and she has been very kind and she's been very helpful. So there is a lot of difference in how cases are dealt with.
Oh, sure.
So what I am handling right now is there are various applications that come to the Supreme Court. So she asks me to form an opinion, to form a memorandum, and tell her whether that application should be accepted or rejected by doing all the research and everything. Another thing I wanted to add is the entire judiciary system has been so kind that they've invited us for a couple of workshops, which included research on Westlaw and a lot of other things that have helped us develop this, because law is all about developing your analytical and your legal writing skills, and these internships help you in that. So they've made sure that we get the best of all the experiences, and we make sure that we make the full use of this opportunity.
Yeah, it's
by
real
excelling
time.
Yes.
It's real time, real
Yes.
judge, real case.
Yes.
All that. That's pretty exciting
Yes,
stuff.
and the courtroom hearings, they give you that kick sort of a thing. Okay, this is how it works here, and it's just amazing. And working, even if you work in Supreme Court of India, it always gives you another feeling than what you get in another court, like a district court or a high court back in India. So I think working in the Supreme Court with just these wonderful justices.
So has your experience here changed your view of Indian law practice, the courts, and so forth?
See, not changed the view, but we've always been, like, since in my 4 years of law school, we've always compared the legal systems quite often. Like, we have a lot of, like, whenever there's any issue, so we always end up having a comparative analysis of how it's dealt there and how it's dealt back in, like, back in India. So interning here has definitely made me sure of this comparative analysis, because those who already realized that these are the differences. But coming here has made me just have at that finishing point, okay, this is the difference for sure. But,
Do you feel that the U.S. could learn from India? Or possibly do you feel that India could learn from the
yes,
U.S.?
India could learn a lot from US. It's a developing nation.
Wait till you see a jury trial.
Oh, yeah, we are waiting for that.
That'll be special.
Yes.
How about your experience?
Well, I am clerking for Justice Pollock, and he believes in one thing: you have to keep the person busy. And he makes sure that I am busy. So helping him with the commission, he is chair, or he's head of one of the commissions. I'm not going to divulge a lot of information though. I'm not allowed to. So,
we'll respect that.
that's a confidentiality agreement that we have to sign. So from helping him with the commission to lots of time on researching, to now helping him write a memo as well, an opinion as well, not a memo, an opinion on is something that I've always wanted to do, because this gives a very different sort of idea that how do judges think and what do they take into account when they write an opinion, because this is going to be the law of the land. What kind of research goes into, what kind of work goes into that. And very honestly, I do not think so that everybody who's a law clerk, they have a mental horsepower of, they are not human beings, totally. They have a mental horsepower of a Ford. Really. Working there in the office 8 hours long, and they're so thorough with their research. They are so knowledgeable. And now I know why do we call them judges, because it's not just the law clerks, they work really hard, as at least Justice Pollock. Oh my God, it works really good. And on your question, I also like to add that when you talk about whether India could learn or US could learn, I think both of the countries can learn from each other. Yes, India has a lot of things to learn from USA, but USA also has a lot of things to learn from India. And I also have, just to prove that, being all lawyer out, just to prove that, the establishment of environmental code in Hawaii is an experience and is an inspiration that has been driven from the environmental code which is already established in India, International Tribunal. So USA learned something from India, the establishment of environmental code. And I congratulate all of you, especially the people of Hawaii, because when you talk about environmental code in Hawaii, that is one of the most important things that you need right now. I mean, when you talk about extinction of species, when you talk about extinction of coral plants, and when you talk about usage of plastic bags, everything. Hawaii is a beautiful place. It's one of the most isolated islands as well in the whole world. You are here, the world is there. So that is what you need right now. And yes, That is what USA has learned from India, and that is what and there are a lot many, and I'm not going to go what India is learning from USA. Just let's not go there. The list is very long, very long list.
We're almost out of time anyway. So I'd like to ask you guys, what's going to happen now? You have another few weeks. Well, how is this going to progress now for you?
So we met Dean Anthony a couple of days back, and she has planned a couple of workshops for us. So there's a summer school going at University of Hawaii. So she is going to connect us to some professors and make us attend some classes. And apart from that, then our internship continues. Yeah.
One thing that, I'll take 1 minute. One thing that we learned from USA and from Hawaii, is that the participation of law school faculty, students in the judiciary is very important, and it is always welcomed. That's what we saw in the environmental symposium, and that is what we are going to experience right now. So in the next 2 weeks, the support that we have got from Dean Antolini and UH Law and Richardson School of Law is commendable. Why? Because she has invited us to come after our internship, she has sent us across the course structure, she has sent us the class schedule so that we can go and attend classes. I mean, you see the integration of judiciary and law schools. This is what gets you way ahead.
Well,
when you have academia and judiciary backed up by the people, now is nothing going to stop you.
Can't go wrong.
Never.
Well, I want to see India and Hawaii close. I want to see India and the United States. I want to be closer to India than ever before. and this program helps.
And we love the Aloha spirit here. We love everyone we've met till now.
Aprajita Sheel and Swarnim Swasti. I hope I got that reasonably right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you so much for having
and
us.
thank you also to our earlier guests,
Avni,
Ishnoor and Avni. And I hope we see you again on ThinkTech or otherwise. Aloha, you guys.
Aloha.